Hello everyone, and PD just announced a new update that is going to feature a couple more cars, new physics, and of course a new track. So let's begin. The track is called Eiger Nordwand, and it has also been in Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. It has a couple of layouts, so I'm not exactly sure at this point if we are going to get every single layout like we had in GT5 and GT6. And I also had a little look online just to see what can we expect out of this update and what will this track actually look like. So I know Grand Valley was highly modified and it doesn't even look the same as it was in GT4. So I do believe that this track is going to be modified, but it may retain that shape and form. Of course, the mountains are probably going to stay the same. The whole scenery will most likely not going to be modified as far as we can see from the replay. And of course, you can see that, well, it's kind of a narrow track, so I don't think it's going to be more for GT4s, GT3s. It's more going to be like for, I would say, N classes and even for rally cars, which of course we're going to cover a little bit later. So you can see it's a very narrow track, a couple of tight turns, and of course it's a kind of high, well, a high-speed section. You have a couple of high-speed sections that if you don't get right, and of course if you don't abuse track limits like you can see in this footage, it's going to be extremely difficult to get a decent time on this circuit. So I do believe that it's going to be quite challenging, but I also believe that it's going to feature Group B or rally cars. So I am expecting that it's going to be something like this. Not exactly sure at this point what it's actually going to look like, but the scenery from this point, it looks pretty good. It actually looks pretty amazing. And if we gonna get something like this with even better graphics and with even better tire and of course physics model, I think this is going to be a great update. So as you can see, once again, it's a very demanding circuit and it's actually a pretty long circuit. So the whole lap is just about 4.5 minutes long. Of course, it depends on which car you take, but in general, it's a pretty long circuit. And I think for most people, it's actually going to be a pretty challenging one even to complete. I'm just thinking about the circuit experience on this circuit. So I do believe that it's going to be extremely challenging to get the gold here. But again, it looks pretty nice. So I'm assuming, and I'm not exactly sure at this point if it's going to be the same layout, if you're going to get the, let's say, the 4 layouts that were in GT5 and GT6, but I am just hoping that it's not going to be only one layout and only one track. I really hope that it's going to be a little bit more something extra to the game and maybe just a good start to something even better in the future. And of course, we got new physics model, which I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, followed with new tires and of course new wheels. So the players raced with the new physics and we will get an update which is going to be slightly modified version of what they actually raced. So feedback from the drivers will eventually be implemented in the game. So that's why it takes just about a month to release this update. So physics, they said it's not perfect, but it's definitely better. And of course, force feedback is improved, cars feel less understeery, and the front tires kind of feel more responsive when you start cornering. Also, the car's traction has been significantly improved, and for example, when you go over the limits of each tire, you will lose grip more than before, especially on corner entry. So we have about 20 more days till the release, and I think they're just going to use that time to polish this model. And of course, tire model has changed. If you slide now, you will eventually lose even more tire wear and of course lose even more time. So in general, red tires, you know that you could race on red softs and still be quicker than the hards, but this is not going to be the case right now. This is the information that I got, so it's probably going to be a little bit different than what it is in kind of this discussion period before the actual release. So I'm just waiting until they release so I can give you a little bit more information. And on top of this, we got new 2 compatible GT Sophie tracks. So it's the Nürburgring Nordschleife and Lago Maggiore full course. I think we all know Lago Maggiore is a pretty famous one and it's been used in daily races every single week, almost every single week. But anyway, we got a couple of new cars. This Impreza looks absolutely amazing, and of course these are like a couple of cars that I'm really looking to try. So all in all, I do believe it's actually a good one. So once again guys, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, bye.